Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Business. The Financial Stability Advisory Council, FSC, was established to help address some challenges within Ghana's financial sector and also foster greater communication between the regulators of the financial system. But will the Stability Council be able to solve potential challenges within the sector? Financial economist and CEO of Sem Capital Advisors Limited, Dr. Sam Mensah, has been explaining on the business edition of PM Express on Joy News.
Current regulatory model that we have, or what we've had to date, is what we might call the silo system. You know, every segment of the market has its own regulator. We have insurance with the National Insurance Commission, Securities and Exchange Commission, banking with the Bank of Ghana, and pensions with NPRA. So it's been a silo system, and there hasn't been that much coordination between them. And the recent inauguration of the Financial Stability Council, I think, is a step in the right direction. It is going to solve the problem of one sector being left out when there are crises in the market. But it does not really quite solve all the problems, because we still have a very poor market conduct regulation. And you can think of regulation as being in two dimensions. Okay. There is market conduct, which is really about how business is conducted, what products are being sold, what are the rights and obligations of all participants in the market. That's market conduct. And then we have prudential regulation, which is really about the soundness of the financial institutions. Okay. Sometimes there can be conflicts of interest between the two sides. So an example of a conflict of interest might be that the prudential regulator is too focused on the soundness of the financial institutions, that they don't pay attention to how they are actually conducting themselves or doing business out there. And so with that in mind, some countries have decided to separate the two, and that is what they call the Twin Peaks. Okay. Now, the question is can Ghana do Twin Peaks? From where we are, it's a big leap, because doing Twin Peaks means, for example, that let's say Bank of Ghana takes over the prudential regulation of all the sector, including securities, and then another agency takes over market conduct. And it will require a complete rearrangement of the architecture of the financial system.
Dr. Sam Mensah is also advising fund management companies to invest funds of their depositors prudently. His call comes in the wake of customers' complaints about their funds being locked up with fund management companies, some of whom have been accused of not investing them wisely. In response to a question on if the regulator should direct how investment firms should invest clients' deposits, money of their clients, the investment advisor said he believes it is the duty of such firms to do the right thing.
I don't think SEC specifies that for you, but I think that prudence requires that you reach an understanding with your client. And what is normally done is that you do a risk assessment of the client, and you arrive at a certain conclusion with respect to how much risk that person can carry, or how much risk that institution can carry. Some are very risk averse, and you will find that out from if you do your know your client exercise carefully, you'll find that somebody is very risk averse. So if the person is risk averse, obviously their money should not go to real estate, which is very volatile and illiquid. Their money should not go to equities, because equity returns are very volatile. They fluctuate a lot. So you have to find instruments with stability of return, which will suit their temperament. If you're running and managing a mutual fund, every mutual fund has its objectives. Some are money market mutual funds, some are equity mutual funds, some are fixed income mutual fund. And again, the percentages that you put into those instruments depends on the nature of the mutual fund as specified in the prospectus by which you launch the mutual fund. So to summarize, the SEC does not specify what percentages of your funds you should put in different instruments. But I think prudence and, prudence requires that you reach an understanding with the client.
And that's business for now. I'll bring you more business on the marketplace shortly. Back to Daniel.
Thanks, Emmanuel. And up next is sports.